Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's the 8th of February 2024, 10:32 a.m. The temperature is currently 28 degrees, but it feels humid and icky and stifling and a bit yuck. So I might have to put the air conditioning on soon, but I'm trying to have a bit of fresh air in this house. I've got the door open. Might open the window, have a bit of a breeze and air, because too much air conditioning is not good for you people. I'm starting to feel a bit kind of formaldehyded out, if that's the right word for it. Anyway, yes, Charlie. She's just pooed down my back. I just had a shower, people. But that was a waste of time, wasn't it? Alright, so today's memories are of the 8th of February 2024, and it's titled, My Former Mother's Birthday Brings Memories Both Poignant and Hilarious. Mama T finding her feet by dancing to Oblivion. On she goes, going nowhere on her ride through life. Here's a photo of me. It was actually taken by my homeless friend Brian, who I mentioned yesterday that we were quite good friends, on this old defunct motorcycle that someone had dumped outside the Treasury Casino. So like two little kids, we played, and I pretended to be a bikey chick riding a real motorcycle, which is hilarious, as I don't know how to ride motorcycles and don't have a motorcycle license, and would probably kill myself if I did have one. So it was just a bit of a joke and a bit of fun. And at one point we were both sitting. He was sitting on the front of it, and I was in the back being a passenger. And I said, where we're going now, Brian? He was off his head, completely off his head that night, in some sort of alcoholic fugue state psychosis. And I said, we're going to Mount Tambourine, and we're going to Broome, where we're going? And he was like, oh yeah. Just keep riding, baby. And in his mind, he was really driving somewhere, whereas I knew we were playing. But anyway, it was lovely. We had a lovely night that night. There's my infamous studded boots, stiletto boots, that was so, my favourite boots. I was infamous for those boots. I bought them with my small inheritance, and oh my God, I love them, but Doc Martens don't make them anymore. They were stilettos, and they were absolutely spectacular, and I hate you, Doc Martens, for no longer making them, because I would have, even though they were expensive even back then, I would have bought a few more pairs in the ensuing years, since late 2012 when I bought them. But anyway, that's how I used to dance in those very high boots, living my best life. And the box in front of us was an assortment of toys and crap that had also been dumped there, so we were playing with those too. We were actually really very much in being very childlike and in our inner child state, which in a way was good for both of us, Brian and I. So that was the 8th of February 2014, just before I'd met him briefly in 2013, but just before I hooked up with Wiglet, right? That was the beginning of the end of my life for a long time, with all the excuse me, all the viciousness and emotional games he played, and shoving other women in my face and being cruel. But anyway, the last real happiness was that night with my homeless friend Brian, both of us silly as wheels and having fun. And it would have been after I'd already danced all night at the casino. It would have been at the end of my night, because I used to go out and hang out with my homeless friends in the Busker George and dance with him for a few hours back in those days, sometimes until dawn. and I'd go home completely exhausted. But I was living wild and free, thinking all the time that I was going to die soon and I had limited time. And here we are, 2024, 10 years later, and I'm still dancing, although not as long and not as hard because I've slowed down since then. But I'm still dancing and I'm still alive and kicking on 10 years later. So the gods are mischievous and capricious, and but they won't let me go, people. So the wet patch on my boob is from a wet head. Just wanted to let you know it wasn't anything weird. Charlie didn't poo down my front yet. So anyway, today's readings start from the 8th of February 2023, 10:36 p.m. Tonight I just finished posting the last of my journal, May 2009 to 2022, to Vocal Media. Hopefully I now have a journal entry for every day in the year, except for the ones they refused to publish, which used to really grind my gears. But anyway, it's nothing you can do. It's taken me months to complete this task, as many of my journal stories were lost in some software glitch, which was also really frustrating. I hope this never happens again. It's kind of symbolic that I completed this task on my dead mother's former birthday. My memories are perfectly preserved. I am satisfied. And a lot of that wanting to preserve all my memories and funny stories and silly photos of me dancing out in the street with homeless men is because I feared dementia and Alzheimer's, which my mother did die of advanced Alzheimer's. So a lot of why I get so obsessive about preserving all these things is, well, we all die eventually. But I want that little bit of me left behind. It is complete egomania, really, because at the end of the day, we all slip away, and our stories usually go with us. But we live in a technological age where information and data is precious, and they harvest us like loose feeders, and I'm willingly giving it, handing over all my truth, all my opinions, all my ideologies, all my spirituality, all my life experience, quite freely, haven't been paid yet, because we have the luxury of having our life histories and our stories preserved en masse for the first time in history, right? Until someone breaks the internet box and, a CME event happens and everything's lost forever, which could happen. Stranger things have been known to happen, people. But anyway, I'm determined to have my little stories out there, and some of them are fucking depressing and triggering, and some of them are quite delightful and edifying and motivating and inspiring, even if it's only to another trauma survivor going through the same shit as I went through, right? So hopefully it helps someone along the way, even if only from an educational perspective. Here's a lovely pair of earrings. I've since blackened them, and I actually prefer them shiny. I might go and take the patina off, but anyway, they're a New Zealand shilling, and they're of a Māori chief with his I don't know what the Māori word for that, but his spear in his hand, hunkered down, ready to go to war, right? So they turned out quite lovely. I only made one pair of those, nothing sold, so I didn't make more, but I should actually make some more, maybe make another pair for me to wear, and enjoy my creativity since nobody's buying it, right? It's another epic failure that I struggle with. Charlie's climbed up the window. Charlie, is that a good idea, Charlie? Oh well, she's happy climbing the walls. I captioned that photograph, Kamate, kamate, kaoru, kaoru. It is death, it is death, it is life, it is life. In Hebrew, l'chaim, to life. Never give up, never back down, never quit. Look life and one's enemies right in the eye. Seeing is believing. The greatest honour is to turn an enemy into a friend, but they may not be worthy of our courage, love, light, or truth. Some things must stay in the darkness, returned to the void, while other things and people become. And the little hashtags are quite hilarious. Oh no, not so hilarious. Some of them are though. These are sort of, ordinary. Titania's realm, magic happens. Wahine Toa, that means powerful woman. Mana Toa, powerful mana. New Zealand shillings, 1933, sterling silver, handmade, upcycled jewellery. Brisbane, New Zealand and Australia. Still in 2023, well might the banshees wail. Well, my loves, they have been screaming and streaming into our consciousness for decades, but nobody would listen, pardon me. And I, the proverbial canary down the mine, was deemed crazy, worthless, unlovable and irredeemable. I highly recommend watching this movie. It resonates on so many levels. The death of culture, the bathos, the isolation and abandonment and rejection. Only the miniature donkey knew best. The border collie dog, wiser than wise, while the master goes quietly mad, chasing his muse. In fact, I need to see this movie again. This synopsis by John Waters perfectly outlines the magic of this art piece. John Waters is an independent journalist in Ireland who writes, he writes very long prose, very highbrow intellectual prose. He's a wonderful writer, and but a bit long-winded for my style, but that's probably because I've got the attention span of a gnat now that I've got older. But yes, he is a wonderful writer, and he also fought against the COVID epoch in Ireland, which they got particularly smashed during the last 4 years by their government. So it was not nice what went on. So again, I repeat, this synopsis by John Waters perfectly outlines the magic of this art piece. Long may the banshee wail, and may they be heard in time. And for those of you that don't know anything about Irish spirituality or Celtic spirituality, the banshees are spirits that usually come from your family lineage. I think it's only certain families in Ireland where this occurs. It's a real event, supernatural event, but it does actually occur, people. And when a member of that lineage or that family line dies, a banshee is a spirit that will come and literally scream outside the window or outside your door, or usually under your windows. This bone-chillingly screaming, howling wail, which is how you know someone in that family is about to die. So it's a real phenomena. It does actually happen. It even happens to American Irish of those particular lineages, even if they're in the Irish diaspora. So I find, because as you know, being an occultist, I find all this extremely fascinating. I love to hear stories about spirits and ghosts and jinn and genie and mythological creatures and fairies, and especially when they are actually manifesting in our world. It can be a bit frightening at times, but also a bit astonishing, and reminds us that we humans that think we own this entire planet, we only know a fraction of consciousness of existence, and we know nothing Jon Snow, as they say in the Game of Thrones. And there's so much more out there, beyond dimensions, beyond time and space, that we can barely imagine. So walk with your gods with grace and dignity, but with honour and respect, and know whom you are, regardless of your religious or cultural backgrounds. Know who you come from and where you're going and who you are at any given time. Honour thy ancestors especially. So this article by John Waters is entitled Existential Slapstick in the Banshees of Inisherin. The Banshees of Inisherin is the name of this wonderful movie, which is dark and a bit surrealist, but the archetypes are there, you know. It's a wonderful movie. Highly, highly recommend it. 1:11 p.m. Go forth and multiply. Take whatever scraps of love that comes your way and turn it into a creative outlet that satisfies and edifies and brings forth joy. And you'll hear vacuuming because my cleaning lady Rati is here cleaning this morning. She comes on Thursday mornings, but I decided to not wait till after she leaves to do my video. Decided to do it while I'm clear of mind and clear-headed and motivated. So we may get interrupted when she wants to clean in here, and we might go for a walk around the garden and talk about other things for a little while. Hope you don't mind. 12:07 p.m. I just received a call from my psychiatrist receptionist. He has had to cancel all his appointments, diarrhea and vomiting. So I encourage everyone to boil their water or install water filtering. I suspect that our water supply is either contaminated or being actively tampered with. I need to buy a water filtration system myself. I don't trust our government or health department. They are capable of anything at this stage. I woke up at 8 a.m. because Bobo was crying to be let out. He vomited orange-coloured bile on the kitchen floor. I let him out and observed him peeing normally and eating more grass to induce vomiting. We went back to bed. I was still exhausted, and he seems fine now. Then I received a text message from Lynn that she was sick all night with diarrhea and vomiting. She had planned to come visit me today. So it makes me think there was something wrong with our water supply if even the dog was vomiting, right? It's a great worry, people. I just woke up again at 10:45 a.m. I don't feel like getting out of bed today. The constant heat has been oppressive. But time to greet the day and see what it brings me. Hopefully better health and more courage and joy manifested in large and small ways. 8th of February 2022. My mother would have been 95 today. 12 years since she transitioned. So much has changed in my life. Big changes, even recently. The world shifted into darkness with the COVID epoch, but I believe in new beginnings, in sunrises and in blossoming after every epic, evil storm. Up she rises, we've got this. 8th of February 2021, 1:22 p.m. I'm sitting under the tree. The weather is slightly cooler, but rain is imminent. The wind has come up, but it's breezy and moving in little vortices. I had to take down the sun umbrella. The neighbourhood is quiet except for the drumming hum of the cicadas. It's beautiful out here. I feel slightly better. My mind is clear. I sat up until 1 a.m. watching The Exorcist TV series on Prime Amazon. It was okay. There were elements that are just plain weird, like conducting the exorcism in the attic, which they padded out the walls with mattresses. But it's entertaining and, in my own life situation, thought-provoking. A friend from Ecstatic Dance who came along to drumming told me there are active Luciferians that have inveigled themselves there. It explains a lot. By Luciferians I mean the blood-curdling, baby-sacrificing, truly evil ones, not the Luciferians that are emanations of light and gnosis and enlightenment and wisdom. There's two forms, darling, like any religion. There's two sides of that coin. I have been dogged by evil all my life, especially from my own family of origin. In true narcopathic style, they tried to make me out to be the evil one, to the point I started to believe it myself. I've just got a high pitch in my ear. It's my mother's birthday today. Her yahrzeit's on the 7th of March. So, probably her trying to make contact, but I don't communicate with that entity. It's not welcome in my home or in my psychic space, ever. It's bad enough I carry her DNA and my life histories and all the damage, so enough is enough. I discovered, though, that I am intrinsically quite balanced, spiritually speaking. I have my darkness, only human after all, but I have a lot of light gifted to me from supernal beings. That was how I survived my paedophile, monstrous family. I cleaved always. Always. Oh, my goodness, Charlie! Come down, come down. That's very bad what you've done. No, come down. No. Get down after that. She's chewed a hole in my mosquito wire. I hadn't realised that's what she was doing. Oh my goodness, Charlie. No. She was stuck in her foot. She fell down. No, that was naughty, Charlie. You can't be doing that. My goodness. Now I have to patch it with something. Oh, little bugger. Well, what made you do that, you mad bird? Madness, that was. Where was I? I cleaved always to the truth. But the truth is subjective. I love you, but that was very naughty what you just did. Yes, just sit up there. And reflective. The truth is subjective and reflective and can be made opaque by evildoers. They tried to smear my vision and obliterate my worldview. I had to go within to seek what is real, still seeking. There are parts of me they killed that I can never get back, not in this incarnation, perhaps in the world to come. Hashem, that means God, will fully form my precious eternal soul. Well, wait a minute, souls are already fully formed, right? No matter what Your soul that you were given is a perfect one. But what I meant by that is maybe I'll get a better run of luck next time round. A better incarnation, or better yet, never have to incarnate ever again. That would be nice. I'm not in charge of this, but I just cast my eyes up to let them know that's my wish for the next time round. Perhaps next life will be easier, kinder, more loving and prosperous, healthier, safer, whole and holy. But why wait? I can grow around the desolate parts of my own obliterated life like a wild rambling rose vine. I can... Do you need to come and do here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. No, I'll just move us out. I'll move us out. And hang on, I've just popped on. I'll take us for a little walk. You won't be long, will you, Rati?
Just the other side is finished, just from here.
Okay. I'll go in the kitchen. Right, we're still filming? Yes. I can blossom in my own brokenness. I can heal myself. I am always and forever grieving and healing and, if necessary, pruning and reconfiguring. My friend tells me I need to embrace my witchy side. I smiled. I interpreted quite correctly that I would be called upon to fight my usual spiritual war. Very soon after, the cards fell into place, and once again, Latanya spoke, wrote, danced her truth. I can see in here I'm looking very pale, but I had another bad night with my bladder and lack of sleep last night, people. So that's why I'm even more driven to succeed, get my little stories up and out on YouTube as well as Vocal Media, and they're tucked away in the archives of Facebook, because I'm fighting to get healthy again, and at this stage of life, it can go either way. I saw my psychiatrist yesterday, and he's convinced that Botox treatment inserted into my bladder might be more the way to go. But I don't see my urologist till the 11th of March, and she'll have to make that decision, I guess. So meanwhile, I'm carrying on with that medication that's knocking me around and not really working. And just so I can say to her, yes, I've taken it, till the 11th of March, and let her know that it's not working. And then they'll have to make decisions what they're going to do with me, right? But I am looking a bit wrung out. But don't worry, darlings. We're making our videos. Tomorrow I will be dancing. Tomorrow night. Yes, Charlie. Mama will do the dance. I'll just repeat that sentence since I segued, sorry. Very soon after, the cards fell into place, and once again the Tanya spoke, wrote, danced her truth, for which I am marginalised and scorned, isolated and betrayed. It's all okay. I'm never going to play to my abusers, succour them, fillet them, please them. Evil is as evil does, but without its audience, it soon loses its power. Without sycophantic supporters, without its minions, it has nothing. No thing. No thing is a Shakespearean term for vagina, by the way. Just I threw that in, I wanted you to know that little piece of information for those of you who don't study Shakespeare. My musings were just interrupted by a wild lorikeet stalking my Charlie. She was intrigued at first, rare to have such a close encounter with her own species. I got a little hopeful it might be a mate, but it terrified her so much she fell out of the tree and ran to her mamati for safety and comfort. Yes, Charlie, we don't fit in with our own species, but we have each other. It's beautiful and magical how my true loves cleave to me as they know what it means to be abandoned, betrayed, and brutalised. We hold each other precious, a family wrought from darkness and pain, a love so powerful that even the wild, nasty bird does not mess with us. Cute. Am I okay to go back in the lounge?
Yes.
Okay, Rati. It's all good. Let me know when you're ready to mop the floor. I'll go out again.
Okay.
8th of February 2020. Just sit us back up again. Hands free. Yay! Home from one of the best nights. I thought she pooed again. No. Home from one of the best nights at the Live Wire Bar at the Treasury Casino that I have had in over a year. I was really getting kind of bored with that space at times, to be honest, especially when they played awful house and hip hop and weird trance music, which I don't mind in small doses, but yeah, between the sets they were playing awful music for a few years there. It was driving me nuts too. Anyway, I only stayed going there for 12 years because I used to, have friends in my own little spot and I felt comfortable there, but when it went toxic, that was it. That was the end of it. Done, dusted. I can't believe she chewed that wire mesh up there. I'll have to fix that later. Morris invited me to come out tonight, which was unusual for Morris to invite me anywhere, actually. When I got there, there was lovely seating on the sides of the dance floor. So they'd renovated and put seats and little tables down. We could drink again on the floor too. Oh my God. It was just like the good old days except with elegant seating as well. So much better for my middle-aged tuchus to be able to sit in comfort, which I really did. I still sat in my spot, which they really resented, by the way. Anyway, there is that. Why is that not working? We've got troubles with my laptop now. Come on, laptop, don't be mean to me. Don't be mean to me, Lappy. Where are we now? We've jumped all over the place. Alright. So much better for my middle-aged tuchus, that means backside, to be able to sit in comfort. Why is that frozen down there? It's odd. Shouldn't be happening. I danced wildly with Morris, Karen, Adam, Scotty, and Craig. Who was Scotty? Who was Craig? Oh well. And a beautiful Asian lady named Bella. Bella kept kissing me on the cheek, which was sweet. Scotty and Craig and Adam hammed it up with me, big time. Trying to think who, I know Adam, of course. Adam and I were really good friends, but who the hell was Scotty and Craig? At least I bothered to find out their names though. Now I don't even remember them. It's scary, isn't it? I had the most magnificent time. Phoenix Rising were playing with Sarah Fraser singing. The place went off. It was wonderful. I may not be able to walk later today as my heels were too damn high and put pressure on my thighs, but oh my goodness, it was worth it. We had so much fun. There was a lot of love in the room. Juicy. I need a bath now as I danced so much my clothes were all saturated with perspiration. It has been 5 weeks since I have been out dancing. So maybe that's why Morris invited me. He probably had noticed that I hadn't been out for a while. Probably thought that I was, retreating to my cave and moved on to another venue. So yes, there is that. 8th of February 2000 and... Oh, that's why my mouse isn't working. It's not bloody plugged, because I unplugged it when we left the room. Oh, problem solved. Right, now we're back in the room, people. Do you know, I couldn't work that out, that was the problem. I am slowing down, people. Mentally, it's not good. Enjoy this intellect in this Slavic, fat old hobbit face while you can, because I think I'm on my decline, darlings. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's just fatigue from not sleeping all night. 8th of February 2019. Today is my former mother's birthday. I was going through my memories and have posted some funny old antics I got up to back in 2014. Actually, 2014, that was the year that year in April I turned 49, and 2014, astonishingly, was one of the best years of my life. I really had a good time in 2014, fell in love with Dave, or who I call Wiglet. Well, that sort of went all right, but apart from that, I had a lovely year that year, my 49th year. And now I'm in my 59th year, almost, because I turned 59 in April. I wonder if I'll have a good year this time, fall in love again with someone wonderful and hopefully requited this time. That would be nice, she says, smiling sardonically, because I can't believe or trust in anything anymore. But no, 2014 was a very good year. 2015 was the year I nearly died of suicide. That was the worst year, one of the worst years of my life. And so it was almost like I had this brief renaissance and hiatus of happiness, and then the next year I got slammed every which way by every evil monstrosity got thrown my way in 2015. I can't even bear thinking about it to this day. It was so awful. Anyway, heartwarming, how I strive to blossom after the devastation of life with that woman, meaning my mother. Now, almost 9 years after her death, I finally seem to be finding my locus again. She would have been 92 today. But life happens the way it happens until it no longer happens. And in the happenstances of our lives and the deaths of our unrequited loves and evil toxic family, we grieve and then get up and strive to find a better, saner life, free of shackles of the past or the ghoulish mirrors that keep arising to mock and taunt us. Unconscious zombies that see our pain and horror and trauma and actively choose to take on that role of all the former abusers so they can try to finish the task of ending me. I can name them still, but I won't edify those bastards. I can barely breathe to think of how many took up my mother and those foul paedophiles' standards and flocked to harass and taunt and abuse me. It was like a contagion, a disease that could not be contained, and I had to wait decades for the ill effects to wash out, fade away, staunch the blood, tears and sweat, and wait, still waiting for the one who comes to me clean and clear, without artifice or cruel games, and loves me back to fullness of life. No, I don't need a man to love me back to fullness of life. I am full of life and filling myself up daily. I just want an equal, a king to my queen. In the meantime, while I was pouring love into unworthy, cruel, toxic lover men and women friends, dancing as fast as I could, and still dancing, being humiliated and scorned and made to watch them kiss and fuck right up in my face, I got finally loved enough to turn my love within and exploded my broken, kintsugi'd heart and manifested my own truth and beauty and power amidst so much callow ugliness and putrid betrayals that I almost wish I had died after all. But here I am, a miracle, a wild, wise, wonderful woman, a daughter of the gods, a seeker of knowledge, a lover of life and of death and of the multiverses, a light that shines in my own darkness, a fury and a sweet harmonious becalmment on a ragged sea of despair, a love that could not die, everything and nothing. But happy birthday, Gisela. Thanks for the birthing, the cruelties, the gifts, the time you gave and the time you stole from me. Thanks for the genetics, the evil and the occasional good. Thanks for the lessons. Thanks for the constant betrayals. Thanks for the rare and confusing but precious times you stood with me. Unfortunately, too fucking rare. Thanks for being you. Thanks for letting me go at last, I wish. I pray to God, all the gods, that our paths never cross again in any dimensions, heavens or hells, as you were not easy to survive, and I still hope to one day thrive. So I turn to face you, my alter hexa, my hag, my mother. Take back the Daves and the Sarahs and all the other demon spore narcissists that you sent to lure and seduce, to use and abuse me. Take your shadow puppets and your filthy, diseased muppets. I want a clean, lovely life, free of the past and your spooks. I forgive you and your void that in your fear, torment, hunger for power sought to destroy me, your little girl. You knew better, really, truly. You owed me a safe life, but denied it to me. Bear in mind that my mother was brutalised almost on a daily basis by her own mother, Eva, and when I say brutalised, stomped on with stiletto shoes, hit with a brass belt buckle on a belt, covered in bruises. She went to school, couldn't go swimming because of the constant bruising. And that was a normal childhood in Nazi Germany. It was very common for children of that generation to be beaten constantly. And bear in mind there was also the trauma of the war going on, the bombings all around them, the privation, the starvation. You know, they were on rations and got very little quality food. And what little quality butter rations they had, my grandmother swapped for cigarettes. She really was a monster. So, you know, I spent a lot of my childhood forgiving and being compassionate to my mother, knowing that she had an extremely brutal childhood in wartime under extreme threat of losing life and limb constantly, and then going home to her vicious mother. I made a lot of excuses for her, and then sometime around about, you know, my 30s, I realised I was done making excuses for my mother and her monstrous behaviours towards me and my half-sister, by the way, who actually endured worse than I did, was literally starved. So I continue on. So here we are. I draw the line in the sands of time and death and skip the light fandango. Walking that line with my inner child, you broke too many times. Holding hands across the universes with the woman I am now, and integrating the woman I might yet become. Love, life, honour your ancestors, that your time on earth may be long. I'll just move this out again so Rati can do her work. There's nothing more. There's nothing. Yes.
Did you not stop it?
No. There we go. Say hello to the people, Rati.
Oh, hi.
She's shy. She's a lovely lady. I love her dearly. I tell people my videos how much I love you.
Oh.
They've heard about you before. Now they've seen your face. They know what you look like. They can stalk you on the internet, Rati. Don't you dare. That was a joke, people. Please don't do that. Where were we? I'll just repeat that last sentence again. Love, life, honour your ancestors, that your time on earth may be long. But how long is a piece of string, or string theory, or quantum physics, or the life of a broken little girl that had to grow up and become? All the little girls and little boys who survived more monsters than the ones we were told were under our bed. Ah, fuck it. Yes, Charlie. Kick it to the curb. Another day in paradise. Begin the begin again. And here's one of my favourite photos that I laugh at now. But yeah, the Christmas psychosis. Me grinning inanely at my father who was taking the photo, and my mother looking particularly savage. I mean, you have to laugh. Merry fucking Christmas, people. Now you know why I wanted to be a Jew from a very young age. Anything to escape that horror, not knowing that I was buying into even more horror with the abuse that happened in my own community here in Brisbane. Pieces of my soul are in those gold curtains. I call them back, return to me all the fragments of the Tanya, the objects, places and people I put myself into while disassociating from abuse. I call all my pieces back. I am rebuilding myself, stronger, whole, perfected in all my imperfections. Not shaken down, not stirred, reborn. Okay. Fierce and fearless, alive and aware. Hang on a sec. Full of real, authentic love, implacable, impenetrable, important, a tad impish, but hey, you need a little whimsy in your life. Like that playfulness with that broken down piece of motorcycle in 2014 with Brian. Oh, the other funny thing that happened that night while we were playing on that broken down motorcycle, Brian and I, was a van full of police slowly, because it's 40 kilometres per hour going down Elizabeth Street. But we were cavorting and being silly on this broken down bike, and this van full of police personnel was driving down Elizabeth Street. And when they saw us clowning around with this motorcycle, because they probably thought we'd stolen it, didn't realise. I think they didn't realise till they got close up that it was missing handlebars and it was just a wreck, you know. Although Brian wanted to sell the petrol, the part that holds the petrol, I don't know what you call it. He said, I can get $50 for that. I said, if someone's willing to buy it, why not? It's been dumped here, it's going to the tip, why not? But anyway, the cops must have thought it was a stolen motorcycle at first. So they're trawling slowly, and then they just stopped in the middle of the road and just like stared at Brian. They could see he's off his head, and they didn't realise that I wasn't off my head. I was probably a little bit tipsy. That's probably why I was hanging around waiting to sober up before driving home, right? But I was just being playful and silly, and it was like, they could see that I was in control of my functions anyway, and then they just kind of looked at me and nodded, and I nodded, and then they kept driving. So it was actually hilarious. It was so much fun that night, just being joyful and childlike and ridiculous. But anyway, you need a little whimsy in your life, says Tanya. Some gremlin or trickster spirit is trying to mess with my head while doing dishes which have built up for 2 days. I lost the plug. It was impossible, as it was there when I began to sort the dishes, but suddenly it disappeared. Bemused, I chided the spirits or the fae and said, okay, give me the plug back. It's hard enough to get me to do housework. I went outside to bring Charlie to bed, then went to the bathroom to use the plug from there. I fill the sink, but Charlie. But the spare plug is a funny one, so most of the water escaped down the drain. Now I had torn the kitchen apart twice looking for the original plug and had given up on it. So I wander away to stir the pasta I'm cooking for Bobo's dog food. I come back, the stainless steel scourer has disappeared as well, but in its place, at the bottom of the sink, is the original, plug next to the spare plug. Say what? So the fae gave me back the plug and took the scourer. I think they are acting out because I upset myself today about my long dead mother and my freshly dead hen. Well, give me back the fricking scourer so I can get on with the dishes, you mischievous imps. I hate a job half done. That was back in 2019. I actually said to Rati, I said, if anything supernatural, paranormal happens while you're here, which it does from time to time, little tricks get played, it's because it's my mother's birthday. But so far, so good. No naughtiness has happened today, yet. As I have told the spirits to not do naughty things to unsettle my cleaning lady, because I don't want, a few people that come to help me out to be scared off. So at one time she was working here and the vacuum cleaner switched itself off at the wall, and like none of us were near, so that was a bit freaky. Anyway, I had a little word to them after that. I said, you will not be scaring my service workers that come to help me, 'cause it's not appropriate. Anyway, what can you do? Living between worlds as I do, as I've done since early childhood after too many near-death situations, makes life a bit strange like that. A bunch of children coming from school. It's only 11:28 a.m. Odd. She's done another poo, hasn't she? Yes, she has. I know. Well, you keep pooing, and I have to keep wiping it off. 8th of February 2018. My little gatekeeper. Can you see him? Oh yeah, lying on my bed, protecting his mama. Just like you protect mama, Charlie. Yes, I know. You're a good little protector when the wild birds come. 8th of February 2017. On another page, someone asked me what resilience feels like. This was my answer. Please let me know what your own thoughts about resilience are. I find it very interesting. So I had said, it means knowing for a fact that life is endless suffering, that there is great evil in the world, that I am never going to make it, but my heart keeps hoping, my mind keeps praying, my body keeps getting up each day and lying down each night. My mouth, silenced and ridiculed for so long, keeps speaking its truth. My soul keeps flying, and I accept the great gifts of rare miracles, true friendship and love along the long, arduous road to hell that was always paved with good intentions, warrior stances and dances, and a quirky sense of the absurd, facing down monsters and demons, nightmares, poverty, trauma, and turning shit to spiritual gold. Even though that shit leaves a stink and a stain that cost me true love, security, enduring happiness, being bathed in purifying light and celestial waters, then doing it all over again. Resilience and her soul sister, hope. Dreadful liars, but golden opportunities for new beginnings. (8th of February 2016). Beauregard is in his bed in his crate. I have given him his heartworm tablet and his Advantix, so he is going to be fine. He had a nice walk with me to the dog park today. Some idiot male let his dog aggressively hound my dog in the small dog park area that I asked council to implement so that puppies and small dogs have a safe place to meet. So I let him know I was not going to tolerate his dog being aggressive, so he put it out in the large dog area. My blood was boiling. It boils over a lot lately. Surprised I haven't had a bloody stroke. Anyway, the young man backed right off when he saw how terrified Bobo was and how homicidal I was. Protecting our pets makes us rather aggressive. A young woman was in there with her puppy Dachshund, pronounced the German way. She let him play with Bobo as they were both a bit timid, and before we knew it, the two puppies were all over each other. She named her dog Raylan after a character on Justified. I think she was secretly happy I bollocked the guy, as he was obviously trying to flirt with her and annoy her while his dog was threatening mine. Kind of funny, actually. Mama, or Auntie Tanya, struck again. Another couple from Bosnia came to the fence of the small dog area to say hello and told me their dog was 11 years old and grumpy. I laughed. I said, there is nothing wrong with being old and grumpy. After a certain age, we learn not to take shit from anyone. They laughed too. Today is my former mother's birthday. I wish I could say I miss her, but I don't. I just feel relieved that her legacy of pain is slowly subsiding, and I am slowly coming into my own balance and find meaning in a world devoid of proper nurturance or prosperity. Without my beautiful friends, in particular Lynn and Jared and Julie, I would not be alive today. I actually dreamt of Julie. Was it last night or the night before? It just flashed back. I dreamt of her. She was handing me a piece of paper with some writing on it, but I can't remember what that was about. But I saw her face quite distinctly. I remain grateful and hopeful that my destiny will make all the stuff that happened up until now seem a distant, dirty smudge on a spectacularly good later life. Always the optimist. I was asked by Music Man on Pal Talk why I am still here. Julie answered for me by stating, she is here to fulfill her destiny. I made sure of it. To you, Julie, you certainly did. She saved me the night I attempted suicide. Well, she came to check on me, more to the point, but she did come under immense pressure from the spirit world nagging in her ear, go and check on Tanya, go and check on Tanya. So, thanks for that, Julie. Well, here's to you, kid. I hope I make you all proud one day, smiley face. 8th of February 2015. Yesterday was another cathartic day, more epic battles and horror. I honestly can't take much more of this crap. I ended a long friendship, 15 years long, with Gail due to her lies and toxicity, emotionally dumping on me when I was in stage 1 of a major breakdown. The woman has to leave my life. I can't be dragging around a dead, rotting albatross anymore. I've done this for too many years. Then at 10:30 p.m, I was at Dutton Park Police Station to lay a formal complaint about my stalker who harassed me Friday night, Saturday morning, yet again. He treated me like a delusional mental patient until I lost my temper and demanded his registration number and that I would report him for inappropriate service. He took down some notes and made an appointment with me for Monday night at 10 p.m, I assume when he will be on shift again. I feel very traumatised that I can't seem to get any justice or be taken seriously when I have to, on rare occasions, access the police, who I have a long history of not being able to trust, as they just are not willing to take me seriously. This woman was malicious enough to access all my prior acquaintances and lovers, in particular Dave, but apparently that is not stalking. If not, what would that be in the eyes of the law? This is gross insanity. He offered instead to charge her for making malicious and menacing calls by telecommunications. Not nearly good enough, given that she harassed me outside the pub I was banned from for no reason, but I found out one perpetrator of slander that might have been the real cause. And again at the casino. I am not ever going to let anyone stop me from living my life and going out dancing and enjoying myself. Ever. So I will not stop until I have this woman charged. Enough already. Have you finished, Rati? February 8th, 2014. I might just say goodbye to Rati because she needs to. I haven't got much more to go, but I'll just go and say goodbye to Rati, I think, quickly. I'll keep going. February 8th, 2014. Love me tender, love me true, never let me go. Regina many years ago talked me into, without breaking my arm, buying a lovely teddy bear dressed like Elvis with an actual recording inside him that sings that song. I still have him at the foot of my bed. It's very sweet, and sometimes, just for kicks, I give him a squeeze and pretend I have a sweet, loving man who is for real in my life. Then I laugh and cry a little. All good. When I was a girl, I went to a single-sex school called Wellington Girls College. Putting me into an institution, any institution, was a fresh trauma that today has not quite gone away. So many traumas, so little time to dwell on the past. But this one was rather prescient. Thanks, you bunch of slappers, for my nickname at school was Spinster. On a good day, they would tell me with great insouciance and glee that I could never get a fuck in a brothel. This was designed to infer that I was a loser, ugly, and socially inept with boys. All true at the time. Well, perhaps not ugly, but made to feel ugly by my peers and my family. So it is with great amusement that I was married by 19. No great achievement given how little my husband actually respected or cared for me. Had 2 small baby girls by 22, just after my 22nd birthday in fact. So I thought, ha! I have beaten those evil bitches and their nasty taunts by being the first to marry and have children. Well, anyone can breed, darlings. So I raised those girls by my own bootstraps while suffering trauma and major depression and being sabotaged by a dull intellect sociopath, my former husband, a psychopath, my mother, and the ever-growing enclave of evil, my father, Gila, Terry, David, Buck Shearer, and his offspring, all determined to destroy me. So here I am, all these years later, a spinster, living alone in singlehood and totally loving it, babies, deprived of my family fortune by thieves, con artists, and relatives of ill repute, my own sister, well, half-sister, the step-sisters whom I never met, and my own father even colluded with these creeps. I can't get a fuck in a brothel, quite literally. I don't even care. I can't find a decent man who is real enough to take me on as a partner. God only knows I've tried and failed miserably and sometimes humorously. So the sea monkeys and the evil salacious hags have my family fortune, and here I sit in my little housing commission cottage, waiting for Godot. Death has been a regular visitor too, but she hasn't bothered to try to take me lately, and I fought her like a demon to keep Tabitha Hen alive. So the body count so far is Miss Bella Rosa, Zulu King of the Holland Park Forest, Hecate Hen, Fish, but the halitosis hag has not gotten Tabitha, Penny, or me yet, and since then the halitosis hag has taken Sophie, Socks, Penny, Beauregard. It's just little old me and Charlie left. Getting a bit frightening, people, especially given my health spiralling under. But I digress. I may have ended up an impoverished spinster, well, a merry divorcee, and staying that way. I may have ended up rather eccentric from years of abuse, trauma, neglect, and so much hatred foisted upon me by others not worth the black beneath my nails. But I have lived to finally survive them all. And now I have lived long enough to laugh at my abusers, the past, my own existence, and be happy. Before you label me with bipolar disorder, those of you who have no frickin' idea about who I am, what I am, or whom I might yet become, last night reminded me in all my mad fun shenanigans that I am life and bliss and madness, but I am still a good person, and I am still loving, and I deserve to be free, happy and inspired. I deserve to open my eyes on each day and lick the eyeballs of God with a quirky, mischievous glint in my eye and a grin that could melt the hearts of ice monsters. I have proven myself over and over again a true shield maiden. So it's cute that I decided to wear my Viking ship earrings today. Synchronicity, peoples. I have fought for my right to be me, to be free, and to be loved in spite of what my abusers did to me and are still posthumously doing to me. They couldn't make me lie down and die, although they hoped I would, and it came close many times. They couldn't stop me from finally shaking off those shackles and dancing like the girl with the red shoes to my own oblivious delight, perhaps even oblivion still circling my awareness. They took my money, my security, my chances at succeeding, my dignity, my innocence, my home, my sanity, my safety, my trust. In place of their toxic bullshit when they died, and I fought for my honour so valiantly, so vaingloriously, so much suffering imposed upon me only to line the pockets of lying monsters. This is what I got. I got my freedom to be me without ever doubting my right to be me. I got to finally breathe the rarefied air of purity and joy. I got to cultivate an amazing sense of humour, to be at one with the universe, and to never question that something bigger is out there, whom even though she, he or it doesn't always have my back, Hashem the genderless, the magnificent, always brings me the kind of people who do care about me, who stand by me no matter what, even when my life is so bizarre, surreal and chaotic due to circumstances beyond my control, who love me even though I am not always easy to love, because I can smell bullshit at 500 miles and back again, and they hold my hand while I try to make sense of it all. They lend me money for my epic nights out in the hope that one day I might stumble across real, enduring love and not get fucked over or merely fucked. And for my part, they pray I don't fuck it up. Ha! Meanwhile, in my quest for the Holy Grail, the male that loves me, cares for me, and treats me like a real man should treat a real woman, I meet amazing, wonderful people who are on their own quest for love or meaning, or seeking courage, warmth and joy and comfort in the lonely, drunken revelries. Women who treat me with kindness and admire and respect me. Men who don't know what to do with me, so they either play nicely or I don't let them into my energy. Some men who are sweet and marvellous and fun to be with, like George and Brian the homeless man, who adore me because they get what it means to be seen and invisible, loved and hated, reviled and cared for, all at the same time. Other men who are perverted, drunk or dangerous, whom I have to chase away from myself or my women friends, but whom are gifts of wisdom to those still learning to navigate abuse and trauma. The only way to win their game is not to play, as the psychopath confuses kindness for weakness. So yeah, life goes on. I just spoke to Crystal, who was visiting Ashley, and spoke to little Chloe, who has succumbed to the sexual revelation, spelling intended, of Spice Girls, and is 8. Her mother and Crystal are 28, and I am 48, almost 49. So here we are, 20 years apart in age, and I was reminding her of Crystal, Ashley and Jamie's Spice Girl video when they were 11, my little rock chicks, lol, and telling Chloe that when she is 28, she'll be feeding her mad Auntie Tanya semolina pudding in the Alzheimer's ward, as I will be 68. Oh dear God, I hope that doesn't manifest. Then I laughed until I split a rib as little Chloe had the unpleasant experience of visiting my own mother at the high care facility Christmas dinner, and it was so fucking trippy she will probably be scarred for life. Little Chloe is now called Avery and is transgender, female to male transition. So that was a mind flip for me. Had a few people in my immediate family and friendship circle that are transgender, so but each time when they come out it still comes as a bit of a surprise. Even my dog, Miss Bella Rosa, was terrified of the zombies shuffling empty vessels that existed in that waiting room of death. One more reason for me to inspire before I expire, express, not repress, and laugh and dance, live and love, and eat, drink, be merry, for tomorrow I may not be here, either physically or intellectually, and I want to celebrate my survival, my freedom on the next journey to thriving before I dive permanently into the abyss. I rise and shine, a spinster in the midst of societal drones, crones, young lovers, respectable hard-working folk, and the marginalised, and more often than I like, the insane. I am living my own moniker, psychedelic dreamer, living my own dream and loving it, riding a defunct motorbike with my arms encircling my friend and being wild, but on a road to nowhere, avoiding the stairway to heaven, it's a slippery dip, and cruising the highway to hell. Hell no, we won't go, not without our friends, born to be wild. And my psychiatrist said to me yesterday in my debrief that men love me because I'm wild and free and untamable and, cute and kind of adorable, but they also fear me as well, fear my freedom and my sense of justice and my self-protection, and on rare occasions my fury, which he said when I lose my temper, and it's usually only after I've been provoked for quite some time. He said my eyes turn almost reptilian and you have a sense that you're about to die. So I said to him, well, you're one of the few people to have witnessed that level of my rage, and I don't unleash that lightly. He acknowledged that, but he said it's deeply bloody terrifying. Well, after a life of mine, I had to summon up my inner daemon to protect me from monsters. So I make no apologies if you see me turn rabid like that. There's always a very, very good reason for it. Anyway, where were we? "1:55 p.m. Awake. Wow, feet still aching. Still tired but happy. I had a lovely soak in a milk bath, watching Lost Girl on my laptop when I got home this morning. Then I had a shower to rinse off the milk and washed my hair. I didn't go to sleep. Oh, it's flipped out of the screen again. Why does it do that? My goodness, I can't get it back. My laptop's doing weird shit again. Come on. I literally can't get back to that part of the page. Oh, here we go. No. It scrolled up and then went back to the bottom again. Why is this happening, computer? The computer's probably dying on me again. No, I'm stuck. I can't finish that story. Well, I was near the end anyway. We were almost up to 2012. You're probably sick of hearing my droning, monotone voice anyway. Let's see, try this way. Try Control Alt Delete, see what that does. Nothing. How bizarre. Oh, I know why that's happening. Want to see why it's happening? Charlie is sitting on the keyboard pressing something. You little monster, it was you doing it. Yes, it was. It's working now. Oh, dear goddess. Charlie, do you not sabotage my readings, Charlie? She says, Mama, you think far too much of yourself. Get over yourself, Mama T. Okay, Charlie, I will when I finish the story. I'm in the middle of a task. Do not interrupt Mama T when she's in the middle of a task. What was that now? Okay, bye. Thank you so much. Okay.
Charlie.
Take good care.
You too.
See you next week. So I continue. I didn't go to sleep till 8 a.m, so very surprised to be awake so early. Did she do a poop? Yes, she did. Oh, Charlie. Crystal still has my car, the brat, so I'm forced to recover a little before I go out with Gail. Bet she will want to go to Greenbank. Arseholes. They weren't arseholes at all. That was just my poetic license because it's called RSL and I ran the letters together. You know, just my cheeky, weird sense of humour that makes sense only to me, really. They weren't arseholes. I went to Greenbank RSL for many years before I started going to the casino. So I'd go back to the Greenbank, but I always, didn't fancy the idea of running into Gail since that was the place she liked to drink and dance and, too many bad memories of that, so I didn't go there and no need to anyway. I'm always following my bands now at the Brooklyn Standard, so I'm quite contented with my music outlets at the moment. Yawn. They get very excited whenever I show up there. No idea why, lol, which was true. The majority of the clientele there would act like I was part of the show, and I wasn't. I'm just dancing. I had my own little spot at Greenbank RSL too, in front of the stage, living my best life. People really seemed to connect to that in Greenbank. They loved it. They would all join in and we'd have great nights. We had some marvellous nights at the Greenbank. We really did. "5:04 a.m, waiting for the bus to take me home. I had a fantastic night at Irish Murphy's with Shauna and Sam. They bought me Patron shots, coffee-flavoured tequila. Yum. Shauna was very generous to me. We fell out, with all that evilness that happened at Irish Murphy's. I don't know what was behind that really, but we fell out. We didn't speak again, but I acknowledge that Shauna was very generous and bought me quite a few drinks on my weekends out. I mean, I bought my own drinks too, don't get me wrong. I wasn't going there to bludge on people, but she would often buy not just me but several of her friends shots at the end of the night, which were very expensive, by the way. So I kind of got spoiled a bit lavishly in a way because I was very protective of those younger women in the middle of the intense crowds at Irish Murphy's. I'd be the one to say, get away from my friends. You'd see the fingers going, trying to poke them in the you-know-where. It was awful. So I would be in full-blown Boadicea warrior goddess mode, and Mama T, being Mama T, was looking after my women friends. And on some occasions I looked after the men too that were not realising what was going on. Hypervigilance is a gift from my complex PTSD, being raised by maniacs and drinking Jack Daniels all night. I don't get so drunk on Jack Daniels unless I have more than 5. Still don't really get drunk, but I keep this heightened state of vigilance, and that's why I drink Jack Daniels, people, because I can maintain control over my environment even while I'm dancing wildly myself and, in my zone. It's kind of a almost supernatural gift I have, but it's a trauma response from my childhood and the awfulness that went on. We danced wildly. Then at 2 a.m. I went to hang out with George the Busker and my favourite homeless friend Brian, who had a relic of a motorcycle. So we took photos and pretended it was a real bike. Manifestations, baby. Maybe one day I will have a real one and a man to go with it, laughing my ass off. In those days, in 2014, I fantasised about having a Harley Davidson, but honestly, I don't even know how to ride a motorcycle, so I would have killed myself anyway. Would not have been a good thing. But that was the fantasy back in the day. Ron and Chrissy came out of the casino around 3 a.m, so I took photos of them too, lol. George went, I don't know what's happened with my throat all of a sudden. George went home at 3:30 a.m, so I hung out with Glenn the busker till 5, lol. Good guitarist, but he forgets the lyrics. I think that was Frank. I don't think his name was Glenn. Or maybe it was another busker. Oh well, can't win 'em all. George is awesome though. Although George had a period of time forgetting lyrics after he had ECT therapy. It was a long, hard road, him coming back. Took him about a year actually. I was a bit worried about him. But anyway, he seems to be, when I drive down Elizabeth Street to park down in Charlotte Street near the Brooklyn Standard, he seems to be absent in the last few weekends, so he must have gone to England to visit his daughters and his family. So good on him, you know. Brian, the homeless guy, had a toy penguin which sang La 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 in this weird tune, very trippy, so I got a photo with the penguin too. The funniest part of our antics on the derelict motorbike was when a patrol van full of cops stopped opposite in Elizabeth Street and they all stared at us in disbelief. Brian says, "Oh my God, cops, we are in trouble." I said, "Nah, we're not doing anything wrong, just ignore them." So we got some random guy to keep taking photos, and when I looked up, the cops were all laughing. Bit hard to press charges for association with an outlaw motorcycle club when the motorbike had no handlebars or seat or much of anything really. We almost sold the gas tank for $20. I was taking bids at one point. I would have liked to sell it so my homeless mate could have had some actual cash instead of the bomby bike. Funny as hell. So some drunk at the kebab shop left behind an unopened packet of cigarettes, so I smoked a couple, then gave the rest to Brian. He was really happy. Loving my Charles Bukowskian lifestyle. No money, no lover, no fucking future, but enjoying the present moments day by day and having a laugh. So awesome. 8th of February 2013, 6:21 a.m. My ear's starting to hurt really badly. Oh my goddess. It's one thing after another with me, isn't it? It's just outrageous. Really hurts though. It's like being stabbed in the ear. Oh well, here we go. Another day. Start again, sorry. 6:21 a.m. Home from hospital where I insisted on taking Free Spirit with Attitude. That's my friend Julie, who has been sick for 4 months and still hadn't gotten proper treatment. So I stayed with her at the Princess Alexandra Hospital for 6 hours and kept her company while we waited. I am happy to report she was taken seriously and sent home with a script and a letter to her GP for further tests. Phew. She had lead poisoning from the water pipes in her apartment. Can you believe it? Fucking lead poisoning. She was literally dying in front of my eyes. In the end, I just went and got her and said, "You're going to hospital, you're going today, no arguments. Get your bag, get things ready just in case they keep you in." We're going to sit there if it takes all day and all night. I'm not watching you die in front of me one more moment. Because she used to go on Pal Talk, and my Pal Talk friends private messaged me and said, Julie's dying. I went, what do you mean she's dying? They went, have you not been on Pal Talk? And I said, no, not for a few weeks. I said, go and have a look and please do something. We're in America and we feel helpless to do anything from here. So I went on Pal Talk and clicked onto the room, found because we were always in the spiritual psychic rooms. And I found her on there, and she looked deathly. She looked almost green and around the gills. So I took one look at her and I said, Julie, I'm coming to get you. I'm coming to get you now. Get ready. And she was like, what? And I went, you're going to hospital. I can't watch you in this state. You look terrible. She really did look terrible, people. So anyway, here I write. I was horrified to see how much weight she had lost. Now, she was always a very slim person to begin with, and how ill she was. Now I am satisfied that she is on the books at the hospital and can get proper treatment. I myself was constantly coughing and hacking with my bloody asthma, so we made a very sorry pair. Glad to be home in my warm bed and really need to sleep, lol. Awake, still breathing, awesome. So yeah, I wasn't well myself, but I thought, no, I took on board what my Pal Talk friends had said, that they'd been watching her decline, and when I saw it with my own eyes, that's it, you're going to hospital, you're going now. And to be fair, she must have been really ill and a little bit stoned because she didn't put up much of a fight. Came along with me like a little lamb. And you know, it was kind of fun. We sat around waiting for 6 hours and chatted to other people waiting in the waiting room and told stories and jokes and talked, and it wasn't actually too painful, that long wait. 8th of February 2012. Yesterday afternoon I bought 4 lovely dresses in Lifeline. Looking forward to wearing them out real soon. Woohoo! 8th of February 2010. Mum turned 83 today. She seemed a bit better on Friday, but still looks terrible and sleeps a lot now. And she was dead a month later on the 7th of March 2010. So anyway, life is precious. Rest every moment of every day out of it. Do something delightful. Eat cake. Eat chocolate. I ate all my chocolate yesterday. Boo-hoo. Mama ate all her chocolate. Naughty mama. But it's now 12:10 p.m. I'm a bit hungry. I'm also a bit tired and wrung out from reading to you all my memories. But there was some funny, quirky memories today, and amongst the philosophising and the trauma processing. So I hope you gleaned something out of that is useful and helpful in your own life journeys. And as always, remember, always look on the bright side of life, but never ever let the bastards grind you down. Kisses. Kissy kissy to the people, Charlie. I love you. You destroyed my fly screen, but I still love you. I know. You is a pretty bird. Yes, you is a pretty birdie. On that note, bye for now. See you tomorrow, people, when I come back with whatever musings the 9th of February hold for us. Today was intense. It was a lot. So anyway, bye for now. God's bless always.